want to close this out. I want to talk a little bit about the big picture, Dawn. You've been around for over 25 years. I don't want to date you too much, maybe 30 years.
How about
Industrial
43 years? How's that?
How many?
43.
43 years. Wow. Good for you. Good for you, buddy. You look great, by the way. What over that lengthy career in the indoor air quality and industrial hygiene, what has changed with, over those past 25, 30, 40 years in these fields? What big changes do you see?
Well, it's very interesting. I'm in the process. I'm going to be presenting this at the AIDC conference. I'm calling it a modern history of indoor air quality, starting in 1973 and building right up to now, 45 years. You might remember what happened because you're almost my age, Joe, and Cliff too. 1973, the energy crisis, the first one.
Yep.
That was really, one of the things that triggered a lot of problems with regards to changes particularly in the indoor environment. And then, of course, it was followed up with the 1978 one, which really caused people to say, well, this is not something we can ignore. So what has changed since then is the way we treat our buildings. We don't necessarily treat our buildings the same as we did back in 1972 or 71, where there was vast openings in the buildings, infiltration, windows open, doors open. If you want to think about back in that period of time, you commonly had homes that had operable windows. You didn't necessarily even have buildings, office buildings, or anything else that didn't have operable windows as well. And then, of course, our industrial facilities were always open to the air in many ways. We have done a lot to tighten up the buildings because of the energy crisis more than anything else. But the problem with that is we haven't necessarily spent as much time thinking about what does that affect in terms of the indoor air quality for the people living or working or playing in those buildings.